Hi, my name is Bjorn Peterson. I came to Richmond Montessori from Minnesota in first grade. My first phasing day at Miss O'Shea's class was my first interaction with this school and with some of my best friends. It was that day that I first met James, Cameron, and Johanna, and although Cameron left the school, my team of friends would grow stronger and larger from there. After second and third grade, I moved up to fourth and then fifth. It was these years where I met the most friends from Miss Linton's and Miss Kaylin's classes. In sixth grade, Aaron, who I knew from hockey, came to school, as well as Anna and Ben visited for the first time. We also did the expert project that year, which, though monotonous at times, paid off well and was a great experience. I learned a lot from it, not only about the Vikings, but about dealing with workloads and avoiding procrastination. Looking back, sixth grade was, in my opinion, one of the best years at this school, although we did lose our friend Joseph to Sabbath. Next comes seventh grade. Seventh grade was, without a doubt, my favorite year at RMS, one reason being that this is where my team at RMS became complete, the arrival of Ben, as well as both sixth grade classes merging into the seventh grade. I was introduced to many new things in seventh grade, like field studies, a new kind of schedule, and I was given the opportunity to mentor Tucker Berkey and next year Lex Smirnov as they did expert project. This is actually one of my favorite parts of middle school, as it was like having two students of my own to guide and teach. The field studies of seventh grade were by far my two favorites. The Chesapeake Bay trip, although shorter than the farm, was just as fun in my opinion. We studied the bay, partook in activities, and enjoyed our free time of the day, and waged war on the countless mosquitoes by night. Next came the farm, which was just great. From creating our best efforts at a raft to winning at horse stall mucking, it was fun from start to finish. Now we come to 8th grade. We had two more field studies this year, Camp Yanketank and Model UN. Camp Yanketank, while fun, was probably my least favorite of the field studies. However, one thing that I loved about the trip was the nighttime games of manhunt that we would play in a massive field. The other field trip was Montessori Model United Nations, which, although not being the most fun, was a great experience because I learned how the real UN works and you could meet people from all over the world. I even met some people from Rochester Montessori School, which is where I went to school in Minnesota all those years ago. This year I also performed the long, stress-ridden task of applying to high school. Altogether, it was probably one of the most difficult things I've done, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without Miss Parham, my teachers, and my parents. Without them, I would have become hopelessly lost in the whole process of the application. So thank you, because I don't know where I'd be right now without you. And thank you to everyone at this school who has helped me on my way to where I am now. This school and the people in it have made me who I am today, and I will always be grateful.
Hello! It's hard to believe that just 11 years ago, I was walking into RMS for the first time. Since then, I've strived to do my absolute best. Along the way, I've made many friendships that will last a lifetime. I'd like to thank all of my teachers and classmates for shaping me to be the person I am today. Miss Jaleesa, I'd like to start off by thanking you for guiding me through the beginning of my journey at RMS. You helped me learn how to be the right kind of leader and contain my extremely adventurous primary self. The fence were a good idea. Mrs. O'Shea, I'd like to thank you for helping me blossom in math and helping me become peaceful with the Peace Rose. Mrs. Linton and Mrs. Wojtek, I'd like to thank you all for teaching me how to manage my time with due dates and how to take on different roles in group projects. Last but not least, I'd like to thank Miss Parham, Miss Simpson, Senora, and Mr. Houston for guiding me through middle school and putting me in new situations that made me step out of my comfort zone. Unfortunately, due to the coronavirus outbreak, I was not able to finish off my last year at RMS. However, I was still able to make many memories with my classmates in middle school before we were all quarantined. Some of my favorite memories include when we became master mosquito killers at Chesapeake Bay, chicken fighting, playing manhunt in the dark, especially my last perfect game, the middle school talent show, team-building exercises, photo shoots in the in-between, the bus rides with and without Senora's playlists, waking up early and getting Starbucks every morning at MMUN, and everything that went on in rooms 2805 and 2806 at MMUN. Even though my time at RMS got cut short, I'm so happy with everything that I got out of RMS. I'm so sad that this chapter in my life is ending, but I'm super excited to see what the future holds for me in high school. I'm going to miss you guys.
My journey at RMS started 12 years ago. Feels like just yesterday I was dumping beads into an empty bowl. If you asked me what my favorite part about RMS would be, I would say the community, because we're family, and the field studies, of course. RMS is a second home to me. One of my first memories in 4th grade was almost getting hit in the head with a football at lunch. My teachers in 4th grade were Miss Linton and Miss Wojtek. They taught me so much in that 1 year. And at the end of 4th grade, it was my brother's graduation. Honestly, I did not think much of it. During his and all of his classmates' speeches, I kept on thinking to myself, I'm hungry, when will this be over? But I did pay some attention. I kept on hearing, the community is family and the field studies are the best. In 6th grade, it was expert project. That experience taught me not to procrastinate. I did not make the same mistake twice. I made it 5 or 6 times. Soon I got to middle school. At the beginning of 7th grade, it was the Chesapeake Field Study. That was an enjoyable experience. It was our first field study, and I'll never forget playing goggle ball at night. Pancake Field Study was great. We did cartwheels off the diving board and had many chicken fights. My favorite field study was absolutely the farm. Playing manhunt at night was super fun. I will definitely never forget that one night when we were playing manhunt and Joey and Anana thought that there was a psycho killer out to get them. There wasn't one though. I remember seeing Sarah's unique take on Butterfly. When finally we went to New York for Mount UN in March, it was a unique experience. Overall, Montessori holds most of my fondest memories. I've had the most embarrassing and funny times there, and all the memories in between. It's not only the classmates that have all the funny memories and inside jokes, so do the teachers. Our teachers have always been there for us. I thank my community. You guys have already given me a lifetime supply of inside jokes and funny memories. I cannot count the amount of times you guys have made me laugh until it hurt. Thank you to all of you. Y'all have taught me so many things, and I would not be the person I am today without you guys. Thanks for teaching me to be grateful for the rocks that life rolls onto my path, for one day I will see them as stepping stones. You'll never know how grateful I am to have all of you guys in my life. Thank you for making no one day the same. You made it feel like a crazy party every day.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to start my speech tonight by thanking all the wonderful students and faculty that made my journey at RMS something that I will never forget. Going to school at RMS is one of the most unique educational experiences that a person can have. I arrived at Richmond Montessori as a rosy-cheeked 3-year-old in P1. We had already had 3 years of Montessori experience in the family at that point because my sister, Anna, had been attending, so my family knew what I was getting into. P3 was the first year that I really remember. Some of my favorite memories from P3 were going to Jamestown and learning about the settlers, starting soccer, which I continued playing for the rest of my time at RMS, and making maps all day. Going into 1st grade, I was extremely nervous, but that quickly went away. I eventually met 3 people that would become my close friends for that time. Some of my favorite memories from this time were John Woodward teaching me how to catch mud skippers in the creek, making error timelines, and Wes Wise making a stick trade empire at recess. My lower elementary years were some of the best years of my life, and a lot of that would not be true if it weren't for my amazing teacher, Miss Amy. My upper elementary years gave me a good work ethic and taught me to not procrastinate. Upper elementary was filled with many fun and interesting memories, such as Bjorn's mac and cheese blowing up in the microwave, the countless Foursquare games that I played, working with the other classes, and of course, finally completing expert project. My middle school years have been by far the best years of my life. I've gotten to know so many wonderful people over the past 2 years, and I will never forget the experiences that I had. Like wearing Sam Basola's hoodie at the farm field study, having a war with giant mosquitoes in the Chesapeake Bay, or getting temporary hearing loss after the Alexander Starr concert at Model UN. Being in the RMS Middle School connects you with your community. There are definitely a lot of things that I will miss next year, like Aaron's nicknames for everybody, Mr. Houston's dad jokes, Miss Simpson's constant praise of Billy Collins, Senor's energetic attitude, and countless other things. But I'm also looking forward to the future and the journeys that I will go on. When my sister Anna Turkley graduated in 2017, she said that she will leave me as a token of her appreciation. And now, as I graduate from RMS, I will leave my father, Peter Turkley, as a token of my appreciation. Thank you.
Hello. For a word that starts and finishes my Montessori experience, it could be one word, unique, or it could be 400 words. Lucky for you, it's the long version. I visited the school as a 5th grader going into 6th. When I walked out onto the campus, I was greeted by a dog, which I later found out was Miss Parham's. I took this greeting as a sign of the school's freedom and compassion. After looking around and visiting classes, I decided to go here. The first year at Richmond Montessori was different from the school I had been attending before. There were fewer students and they were all unfamiliar. And the learning method was quite different too. As the school year progressed, one thing that I saw was the teachers' interest in helping the students with assignments and projects. Another thing I saw was students making their own work plans. One project in 6th grade I felt was different was the expert project. That is when you can choose a topic to research and write about. I chose beekeeping. Through this project, I learned how to be more organized. I liked the school and decided to attend the 7th grade year. The 7th and 8th grade classes were combined into a community. One of the things I liked in middle school was the field studies. The most fun was the farm field study, where the class went to a farm and learned about the care of animals. Such tasks were taking the chickens out of their coop and finding the chickens' eggs. Moving into 8th grade, I didn't know what to expect of it because I thought it might be too similar to 7th grade. Then I found out there is a different material taught in new field studies. There was more homework and assignments and more of planning your own assignments. As a graduate, I know that I can use the organization and experience that I learned at RMS. Throughout the years at Montessori, and especially 8th grade, I had many teachers helping me with not just assignments, but making sure I'm ready to move on to the next chapter of school. In September, I will be attending James River High School. I would like to thank all my staff and teachers. Goodbye.
Good afternoon. It's tempting to think about all the things that I missed out on this spring, especially soccer. But instead of focusing on regret, I would like to take this chance to appreciate all that I have done and learned. I'll start with the main influence on me at RMS from the time I was a little kid, Coach Baldini. He helped me develop my work ethic, how to deal with losing, and how to win. He does it all while caring a great deal about me as a person. And he does it all with a great sense of humor. And all my athletic experiences have been so important during my time at RMS. Thank goodness the pandemic hit after our basketball championship. Coach Patel taught me so much. I think about the most important things I'll take with me are how to stay at something with determination to be successful and how to be a leader. Academically, I first walked into Miss Pryor's classroom as a 4-year-old, and the foundation of all the most important things that I learned in school happened there thanks to her and Miss Kane. They cared about me and we had a lot of fun. They also taught me the basics of math, how to share, and most importantly, how to pour stuff from one container back to the other. Miss Pryor gave me a lot of room for independence so I could keep working and learning on the things that most interested me, and I developed a lot of confidence and curiosity that way. In lower elementary school, Miss O'Shea and Miss Kalin built on my primary education. I particularly enjoyed the creative writing that I got to do, and I learned more about myself as a student and a friend. In upper elementary, I was in Miss Wojtek, Miss Linton, and Miss Rowe's class. One of my favorite memories there were going on our beginning and end of the year field trips, where we would almost always see snakes. In middle school, I always knew that Mr. Houston, Miss Parham, Miss Simpson, and Senora understood me as a person and cared about me. Our learning experiences outside the classroom on our trips and the way they supported me by coming to our games were very valuable to me. Most important of all, when I look back over my school years, I'm most grateful to my parents. My dad, who's always practicing whatever sport is in season with me and keeps me laughing with his sense of humor, and my mom, who can always find a bright side and always makes me smile and gives me a hug, and is always there to help me with whatever I need. Thank you.
Whenever I look at Miss Kim's classroom, I always think of when I was 3 years old sitting there learning math and it was just the beginning. I never thought that one day I would graduate and leaving this school. It has been 11 years since I started attending RMS, and it's been a wonderful but sometimes stressful 11 years. I have made so many friends and memories along the way that I will never forget, such as the time when Rayhan thought the cows are people that take care of cows, when Rose, George, and I thought we were fairies, expert project, the field studies, and of course MMUN. I was looking forward to graduation because I wanted to make a speech that would make everyone cry and walk under the bridge of students down the path. Sadly, we can't do that because of the coronavirus. However, the teachers and staff have worked so hard to make sure that we still had a graduation, and we are all very thankful for that. Another unfortunate event that happened during these hard times this year was that we lost an amazing teacher. Miss Barron helped me so much in Upper L. I remember how she used to eat her grapes with her chopsticks, and when she squirted yogurt on one of her students. I wish she was here to watch us graduate, and I know she would have been very proud of us. I would like to say thank you to my classmates for always being there for me and each other and making these 11 years everything that they were, especially the 8th graders for being my bestest friends in the whole world. Thank you to the teachers and staff for making sure that we're prepared for the next step and not letting us fall through the cracks. I love all the teachers here so much and can never ask for better. Thank you to my parents for always being there for me and helping me toward my goals and driving me to school. And lastly, my Roblox game for playing Roblox with me. I can't imagine life without you guys. I'm so grateful to have such amazing people in my life to support me. It's so hard to say goodbye to something that I've gotten so used to and something that was such a big part of my life. But I know that we all need to move on, and every one of us will move on to amazing things. I would like to leave with this quote that I found. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Thank you.
Good evening and congratulations to our graduates. The Martha Mabey Endowment for the Arts Fund was established in 1997 by former head of school Dr. Martha Mabey. Each year, a graduating student who demonstrates exceptional creativity is nominated to receive this award by the middle school and specialty teachers. As many of you know, Dr. Mabey passed away in October, so this award holds special sentiment this year. Not only was Dr. Mabey a lifelong educator, at different times she owned art galleries in local Carytown and Biloxi, Mississippi, and was also an accomplished writer. During her tenure as head of school at Richmond Montessori, Dr. Mabey sought to develop the fine arts program, and we continue this endowment in memory of her legacy. In Dr. Mabey's words, because Montessori middle school students are outstanding in a variety of ways, it is doubly difficult to select one whose talents and creativity make a distinct impression. Whether in writing, performance, music, or visual arts, the RMS student who receives the Martha Mabey Art Scholarship really shines. This year's award goes to an individual who is accomplished in several arenas: art, music, dance, and writing. It is my distinct pleasure to award the 2020 Martha Mabey Endowment for the Arts Scholarship Award to Dalma Gabriella Cazala. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Dalma, so well deserved. This year, our diploma ceremony took place in a rather unique fashion. Our middle school community gathered together for one final carpool rotation through the North Campus. Each of our graduates received their diploma with a backdrop of applause and enthusiasm from their teachers, friends, and family members. So we'll share the ceremony with you, but first, remaining true to tradition, we'll watch together a slideshow composed by the 7th year students honoring our graduates. Enjoy. Congratulations, graduates, class of 2020. So before we conclude the ceremony this evening, I'd like to take a moment to pay tribute to our middle school faculty, Cassidy Houston, Param Neil Pishko, Melanie Ruggieri, and Mary Simpson. So much is going on during the middle school years as our middle school students make huge strides emotionally, socially, and intellectually. And this team of teachers always finds a way to apply everything they know about adolescence in general and everything they know about each one of their students to make sure that these years solidify rather than disrupt our students' sense of self. They respect their students as docents of their own learning and engineers of their own authentic and fulfilling lives. Because ultimately, RMS is not here just to help these students prepare for the future. We're here to help them practice a way of life here and now that will shape how they live and work for the rest of their lives. And so I want to personally commend our middle school faculty. In particular, I would like to highlight Param Neil Pishko, who will follow a new path next year. Param has been a member of the RMS team for the past 6 years, and we are so grateful for the many talents she's shared with us over her time with us, for her thorough understanding of Montessori philosophy, her expert shaping of and guidance with our science curriculum, her incredible agility and nimble work ethic, and her strength of compassion for adolescent students. Wherever you go in the world, Param, please know you will always have friends right here at RMS. Thank you for your service and your friendship. So before we conclude, I have one final acknowledgement. I would like to thank Carrera's Jewelers right here in Richmond for their generous contribution of our graduate gifts this year. Congratulations, class of 2020. Thank you everybody for joining us this evening, and we hope to see you very soon.